"Stand down, soldier, or I swear I'll put you down," the FBI agent growled, his voice sharp and shaking as he raised his pistol, pointed directly at the tomb guard's head. But the sentinel didn't move. He didn't blink. His body stood locked in the sacred posture of his duty, rifle at shoulder, eyes forward, completely still, just as he had for hours, through blistering sun, torrential rain, and howling wind. Not even a drawn weapon would break the silence of his vow. Gasps burst from the stunned crowd gathered at Arlington National Cemetery. A woman covered her child's eyes. Phones dropped to the ground. The stillness of that sacred place had been shattered, and now the symbol of the nation's eternal honor stood staring death in the face and refused to acknowledge it. Special Agent Cole's jaw was clenched. He was sweating, his heart hammered as he screamed into the unyielding silence, "This is a federal emergency. Move!" Still, the guard didn't flinch. He didn't speak. His white gloves stayed locked around the M14 ceremonial rifle, polished to gleam beneath the solemn clouds overhead. This was not just any soldier. This was a tomb guard of the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, the most disciplined force in the military, trained to perfection, sworn to protect the tomb of the unknown soldier 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, no matter the threat, no matter the cost. 7 minutes earlier, Agent Cole had stormed through the gates, flashing his badge, ignoring protocol. He was convinced there was a bomb, an assassination attempt, planned during the wreath-laying ceremony scheduled by a visiting diplomat. He had intel, or so he thought. Security tried to intercept him, but he pushed past. He was desperate. He wasn't thinking clearly. He believed lives were on the line. But when he reached the sacred white marble tomb, the path was blocked. Not by barricades, not by police, but by a single tomb sentinel. Perfect stance. Immovable. He stepped into Cole's path as if to say, "Not here, not ever." Cole shouted orders. None were obeyed, so he pulled his weapon, and the guard did not move. The crowd froze. Security backed off. No one dared to escalate. Cameras rolled, and the world watched, stunned, as an armed federal agent threatened one of the most sacred protectors of American honor. What no one knew is that Agent Cole wasn't the villain. He was the target. 3 weeks prior, Cole uncovered a buried conspiracy, an illegal arms trade network operating under diplomatic protection. He dug into Black Ops files, chased encrypted chatter, and followed suspicious cargo routed through embassy shipments. His superiors warned him to drop it. He didn't. 2 days before this incident, his wife vanished. Her car was found empty, burned, no signs of struggle, just a message scratched into the glass. "You talk, she dies." And then came the final blow, an anonymous tip, GPS coordinates, a timestamp, a confirmed plot. He was told a deadly attack would happen during today's ceremony. He believed it. Because he needed to believe it. If he could stop it, maybe they'd give her back. But it was all a lie. They wanted Cole to snap. They wanted him discredited, publicly, humiliated, removed. What better way than forcing him to threaten a national symbol on camera? Who would believe his evidence after this? Now, with the gun trembling in his hand, realization sank in. His pupils shook. The silence between him and the tomb guard screamed louder than any siren. He had walked into their trap. Then, the impossible happened. The guard moved. Slowly, precisely, the sentinel turned his head. His eyes locked on Cole, and in the first spoken words heard from the sentinel that day, he said, "Honor holds the line. Lower your weapon, sir, or the next man buried here might be the one who didn't." It wasn't a threat. It was a reminder, a line drawn in sacred ground. Cole's hand dropped, his knees buckled, and the gun clattered to the stone. Within seconds, military police swarmed in. Secret Service followed. The embassy's internal security team arrived too, but no one dared lay a finger on the tomb guard. He returned to post, silent, motionless, as if the moment had never happened. Later, the truth exploded. Cole's data exposed 6 embassy officials involved in the trafficking ring. The entire operation unraveled. His meltdown at the tomb, once seen as madness, was now seen for what it was: A man pushed to the edge, trying to save the one he loved, while the system he trusted turned against him. But it was that sentinel, that unnamed, unshakable soldier, who saved more than Cole that day. He saved the honor of the tomb. He reminded the world that some posts are more than ceremonial, they are sacred. And those who guard them don't yield. Not to fear, not to guns, not even to chaos. In the final press conference, a reporter asked Cole what changed his mind in that moment. He paused, then answered, "It wasn't the rifle. It wasn't the silence. It was the fact that even with a gun to his head, that man guarded something bigger than both of us. I saw that, and I saw myself." So sometimes real power isn't in pulling the trigger, but in refusing to move when the whole world demands it. Sometimes one man standing still saves everything. Before we end this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. If this story touched you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know how you feel in the comment.